this video, we're going to review Season 3, Episode 2 of The Arrow, Sara. So, holy heck, this episode had a lot of feels. So we're just dealing with the death of Sara, or Black Canary, and Laurel, of course, is distraught about it. Felicity is too. Everyone's trying to hold themselves together, and they're trying to find her killer. And the killer is actually going through the city and killing lots more people, and it actually turns out that it's more than one person. Felicity keeps getting flowers and texts from Ray Palmer, and at the end finally gives in and decides to take a job with him. I mean, this guy went to super great lengths. He even paid $1.2 billion to buy out the store that she currently works at, and is saying that, you know, she's going to work with him one way or another. So he really wants her to work with him, and finally she says yes at the end of the episode. We start off the episode with Oliver being very, you know, this is the life I have. I know that eventually I'm going to end up like the Black Canary. I'm just going to, you know, die down here. It's just a matter of time. And Felicity's like, you know, I don't want to live that life. I want to have something more. And she decides to, you know, take more. And I like that finally at the end of the episode, Oliver realizes that this is not what he wants. He doesn't want to die down there. And Dingle tells him, you know, then don't die down here. And we get to see a cute little montage at the end of everybody doing their own thing. And, you know, Dingle with his baby Sara, and it was just a very emotional episode overall, and I really liked it. So even though there wasn't like tons of jam-packed action, I like that it's able to make you so emotional and care about these characters so much. I mean, just, it's so believable. I think in a lot of shows, like someone dies and there's mourning and then you just move on, and just showing the real human emotions of how you deal with death and how it just throws you through this loop. And I know, in my experience with death, you know, there are people that have to be very strong and think that they can't break down, and that's Oliver, and he has to realize that he is human too, and he's allowed to break down, and that even though he's a protector of the city, and even though people are relying on him, that he has to learn to rely on people too. And I like that theme for this episode, that Oliver just, he knows where his life is leading with the way he's acting, and he's starting to realize, this is not the life that I want. I don't want to die down here. He can be a protector and have a life, and that's a theme we see over and over again with superheroes, where they have to have a kind of balance between their personal life, their social life, and being a superhero, and they question a lot of times, should I have a life of my own? Should I have a personal relationship? There's some actually really cool books that address, you know, the psychology of being a hero and all of that, and the guilt that comes with, you know, if someone dies, it's my fault, I should have been there, but instead, you know, I was with a girlfriend, or I was having fun, how could I do that? And, you know, Oliver is still struggling with that and trying to find that balance, and I think that that's a struggle that we're going to see continue on as the Arrow evolves as a series. I like the new development with Thea, so the fact that she is training with Merlin, her dad, her real dad, and Mr. Merlin, her real dad, and what he's had her become, and Oliver, you know, next episode we see kind of tracks her down and sees, you know, how much she's grown as a person, which I think is really overdue, because Thea really annoyed me in other episodes. So to see her progression as a character and become someone stronger, I'm hoping they don't mess this up, which is, you know, they've done such a great job so far that they won't. But seeing her become a stronger, better character, and not so just whiny and pathetic, I'm excited for her. I could deal with some more Roy acrobatics, to be honest. I'm also glad that Diggle is going to end up being back on the team as long as Sara's killer's out there, so we get to see more action of him. I was really hoping that the baby wasn't a way to just sideline him and have him not be any part of the action. Speaking of finding Sara's killer, we also see Laurel just completely going off the deep end. I mean, she lost her sister, she was full of rage, she got her back, and then she's dead again, and that has to mess with her. And I mentioned this in the last week's review, that we know that Laurel becomes the Black Canary in the comics, so I'm super hoping that she does become the Black Canary in the show, but she doesn't start off perfect and awesome. You know, she has to, maybe she goes away for some training and then comes back. I think that the character, Laurel's character, could deal with not being in the series for a little bit, going to training, and then coming back as a stronger person and adding a new dynamic to that. Overall, super touching, emotional scene, especially the part where they're burying Sara all over again, and just how everyone's dealing with grief. And I really enjoyed the episode, and I'm looking forward to a more jam-packed episode next week when they confront Thea. So, like, subscribe, and come back for more geeky videos every day.